Hey friends, welcome back. It's time for another fun workout. Today we are gonna do some front splits. So the first thing we're gonna do is wake up our hamstrings, then we're gonna do some hip flexor stretching, then we'll do some fun splits exercises. Today you're gonna need all the props. So some kind of belt or strap, something like that. Maybe you might need it, we'll see. You're gonna need, this is a foam roller, a rolly thing. If you don't have a rolly thing, that's cool. You can use like a cloth on a floor that is slippery. We're gonna do some sliders. So other things that work well are if you only have carpet, you can use like a plastic plate or a plastic like fitness slider with the slidey plastic side on the carpet. You're probably gonna need some blocks just to put your hands on. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can again use like a stack of books or something. If you have a hard floor but you don't have a foam roller, then again like a face cloth or like a microfiber cloth or something like that to slide along the floor will be necessary. It's going to be so fun. If you have not warmed up, go warm up. You must warm up. Warm up is essential for not tearing your muscles. No one wants to pull their muscles. Am I right? Okay, so once you are warm and life is feeling better, we're gonna wake up our hamstrings. Now, we did this in a video workout last week too. I like it, it's new, it's fun. It's from Michael Walter's movement. We're gonna do it again. So, we're holding on, however far you can reach, wherever is reachable for you. You're engaging your quad. And then all we're gonna do is lift the hips and lower the hips. We're gonna do it 10 times. And you should hopefully feel a little bit more stretch when you lower your hips back down to the ground. And again, you could have a strap looped around your foot for this. That would totally work. And then on the last one, we're just gonna stay here for a couple deep breaths. And then let's do the other side. So again, lift and lower, and hopefully you feel a little bit more stretch when you lower your hips down, really squeezing this quad, really keeping that leg nice and engaged, nice and straight. And then on the last one, we'll just stay here for a couple deep breaths. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is a whale's tail. So we're gonna cross our legs over, hold on to the outsides of your feet or your ankles or wherever you can reach. You're gonna bend your knees to about 90 degrees, and you're gonna pull your feet in. The other thing I want you to try and do is get your back flat onto the ground. This is a very tight, unpleasant direction for my hips, so I have a very hard time getting my back down to the ground, but that is your goal, all of your back and your butt touching the floor. Then let's switch the cross of our legs. All right, shake it up. Coming up to sitting. Okay. So, the next thing that we are going to do is a hamstring stretch. I like to have padding under my back knee for this one. Feel free to grab some padding. And then you're going to want something to hold on to for balance. We're going to step this one leg forwards. And the first thing that we're going to do is flexing that foot. We're just going to round the lower back and arch the lower back. And you can get your head and your thoracic spine rounding and arching as well, but really concentrate on the movement in the hips and the lower back, because it's the pelvis that is really going to help us stretch the hamstrings here. And then on the last one, keep the back arched, hold that stretch. And let's point and flex the toes. And then keeping the foot flexed, round the back, drop the head. Take a deep breath in, and with your exhale, think about pushing your heel down into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. One more time, heel pushes into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. And then let's bend that front knee, bring the hips forwards and then backwards a few times. And on the last one, keep the hips forwards, hands onto the front leg. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, you're gonna push the front leg away from you. You're gonna round your upper back, pull your ribs in, and think about tucking your butt under. And then with your inhale, you can relax. Exhale, tuck everything under. Let's do that 2 more times. Last one. Bring your hand onto the hip crease of that back hip. Think about really helping it to wrap forwards. And now push into that front leg with the front hand, pull the ribs in, pull the tummy in, and really help wedge your hips a little deeper into that stretch. Good job. The next thing that we're going to do is a pigeon stretch. So, I'm going to go ahead and remove the padding from my back knee. And then I'm going to bring my leg across. into a pigeon. Now, in your pigeon stretch, maybe if I turn this way, you'll be able to see better. But okay, so in my pigeon stretch here, my knee is kind of pointing off at an angle to the edge of my mat, not directly in front of me. And this is gonna help me get my hips a little bit more square because I want both hip bones to be pointing forwards. And then the first thing that you're gonna do here is just bring one hand onto your knee and one hand onto your foot. Think about keeping your hips really square. And just take some deep breaths in. The next thing that we're gonna do is push down with the front leg to lift the hips up. And if this is too much for you, you can stick a block under your bum. It will make lifting your hips a little bit harder, but we would rather you not be able to get your hips off the block than hurt your knee joint on the front here. So if you are feeling stuck in your knee, please prop your hips up. Once you've done about 8 of those, you're just gonna bend forwards. And then come on back up to your pigeon. Sit up really tall. Tuck those back toes under. Think about pulling your tummy in, tucking your bum under, and wrapping that back hip forwards. Now take a deep breath in, and with your exhale, try and straighten that back knee. All right, come on out of that one. We will do the other side. So we're going back to our hamstring. Hopefully you remember which hamstring you started with, because now we're on the other side. Okay. And the first thing that we're gonna do is flexing that foot. Take a deep breath in. We're gonna round the back. And then exhale, arch the back. Remember to try and find the movement in your hips and your lower back. On the last one, keep your back arched. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, fold forwards. Take a deep breath in, and then you're gonna exhale and push your heel down into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relaxing. Rounding the back. We're gonna do that again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, push your heel down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. And then let's point and flex a couple times. And then come on up, and we'll lunge and bring our hips back. And keeping the hips forwards in the lunge, bring your hands up onto your front leg. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, You're gonna pull your ribs in, push your front leg away from you, really squeeze your bum, think about tucking your tail under. And then inhale, relax. Exhale, round the upper back, tuck the tail under. Inhale, relax. Let's do that 2 more times. And last one. Now bring your hand into the crease just under your bum on that back leg. The other hand's gonna stay on the front leg, and I'm really kind of pushing down on that crease in my back leg. At the same time, I'm pushing against my front leg, pulling my ribs in, pulling my tummy in, really helping that hip flexor open up. Release that one. Okay, let's do a pigeon stretch. So again, I'm going to get rid of my block for this one. Maybe I will face this way this time. Okay, so I'm going to bring my leg forwards, tuck my back toes under, and sweep my foot across to my pigeon. And then I'm gonna sink my hips back. And remember, if you're feeling this in your knee joint at all, you're grabbing a block and you're sitting on it. If your bum isn't quite on the ground, you can also sit on a block. That'll help a little bit with this exercise. Then we're putting one hand on our ankle, one hand on our knee, and we're just lifting 8 times. Try and really make the movement come from that front leg kicking down into the ground. Your hands are just there to help you. And try and really keep both hip bones pointing forwards. Last one. And then let's fold forwards, reach the arms forwards along the ground. And then come on up again. Tuck the toes under on the back leg. Pull the tummy in, lift the back knee. That should bring a little bit of stretch into the front of this back leg here. And then come on out. Okay. The last thing we're going to do is grab our rolly thing or our slidey thing and do some split sliders. Again, I like to have padding under my back knee because it's real sensitive. If you are using a rolly thing, you're going to start with the arch of your foot over top of the roller. This is another super fun Michael Walters idea. So you're going to keep both hip bones pointing forwards. If you're on a slidey thing, your foot will just go on top of the slidey thing. You're going to keep, I've got the toes on the back foot tucked under because I find it easier to balance. Tummy pulled in, tailbone tucked under. And you're going to think about, remember that feeling of pushing the front leg down in our, one of my cameras just died. Remember the feeling of pushing the front leg down in our hamstring stretch as you start to shift your hips forwards. If you're nervous about balancing, you can have blocks on either side of you. Your goal is to do this with only the strength in your legs holding you up. The other important thing is that your hips are going forwards with your front leg. So my foot's gonna roll over the block. No, over the roller. That's what this is called. Why is it not cooperating? Oh, this video is going so well. Cameras shut off. Rolly thing sliding. Okay, my foot's gonna go over the roller and I'm gonna flex it. And just go a little bit on the first one. You'll warm up and you're really pulling that back knee forwards and pushing the front leg down to help send you back up. Oh boy, balance. And you can slowly start to go a little bit. Oh, kinetic roll. I don't usually have this problem. It's just because I'm filming it that it's an issue. Ugh. Really focus on keeping those hips square, both hip bones pointing forwards. Let's do 2 more. And the last one. No, come back. Okay, on your last one, we're gonna stay. Maybe do some little pulses at the bottom. And then squeeze your legs together to come back up. Okay, we gotta do the other side, and then you are free. Ready? 10 on the other leg, and then we are finished. Okay, here we go. Sliding forwards, flexing the foot, being gentle on the first few. Keeping both hips square, keeping the tummy pulled in, and listen to your body. Just go as far as you're ready for. Alright, on the last one, we're gonna stay at the bottom for a couple deep breaths. We're just gonna do some little pulses. And then come on back up. Okay, guess I'll talk to this camera. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope your legs and your hips feel all stretched out and nice and warm and stuff. I really like those split roller slider thingies as a pre-aerials warm up, because then I know that my muscles are really active. They're really like ready to do splits in a bunch of different positions. So that's my favorite use for a stretch like the one that we just did, where it's a lot of activating of muscles at our end range. If you have any questions or concerns or feedback or anything, as always, let me know, and I'll talk at you guys again soon. Awesome work!